Hello everyone, today we will see exercise 6.5 and this is the last exercise of this chapter. So many problems are there but I am not going to explain all the problems. We will see some important problems and remaining problems you have to solve. It is similar to whatever we have solved in the class, same it is, so you have to solve those problems. And one more thing, example 40 and 41 is homework and 40 is easy. 41 they have used the absolute maximum method, that is a solved problem, but you can go with also first derivative method. If you use that method it will be easy, just go through it once, okay, and it is not important but solve that problem. Now we will see this absolute maximum and absolute minimum. See, one more thing you have to remember, here they have asked about find absolute maximum and absolute minimum. If they ask just find the maximum and minimum value of a function, here you have to observe this one. The value of x belongs to minus 3, 1. I mean the interval is given, right? Whenever the interval is given, you need to find the absolute maximum and absolute minimum. That is also called as maximum and minimum, okay? Remember this. First step, what you have to do? You have to differentiate with respect to x. Next, you have to equate to 0, right? To find the critical point. After getting the critical point and the end points of the interval, you have to substitute in the given function. After that, you have to check where the function attains the maximum value and where it attains the minimum value. Simple. Let us start this. First, I will differentiate. F dash of x is equal to x minus 1 whole square will be 2 into, right, x minus 1. Derivative of 3 will be 0. Next, equate to 0. F dash of x is equal to 0. So this is 2 into x minus 1 is equal to 0. By this I can write the value of x as 1. So we got x as 1 is this is called the critical point. So clear? So this is the critical point. Now to find the maximum or the minimum value, we have to substitute x is equal to 1 and the end point. Here end point you can observe this one. See, this is also 1 and the critical point is also 1. Is it clear? So we will substitute those values. First, f of minus 3. If I substitute f of minus 3 in this equation, so this will be now minus 3 minus 1 whole square plus 3. So this is minus 4 whole square will be 16. 16 plus 3 will be 19. Right? F of minus 3. Now f of 1. What is the value of f of 1? F of 1 minus 1 minus 1. Sorry. Yeah, 1 minus 1 will be, this will be 0. So we will get f of 1 as 3. Here which is the maximum value? Obviously 19 is the maximum value and the minimum value is 3. So finally what you have to write? The absolute maximum value of a given function is 19, which attains at the point x is equal to minus 3. And the absolute minimum value of a function is 3 and which attains at the point x is equal to 1. That should be the final answer. See this problem. This is the 11th problem in that exercise. From 11th to 16th problems are important. I mean 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 and 16, those problems are important. You can expect such questions, okay. Just we'll see this one. It is given that at x is equal to 1, okay. The function x to the power 4 minus 62x square plus ax plus 9 attains its maximum value on the interval 0 to 2. Find the value of a, right? Try to understand the question. It is given that this function attains a maximum value at x is equal to 1. At x is equal to 1 means it belongs to 0 to 2, right? To find the maximum value, what we do? Either we will differentiate this and we will substitute the critical point and the end points. This is not the end point, right? X is equal to 1 is not the end point. End points are 0 and 2. That means x is equal to 1 will be the critical point. Is it clear? To find the maximum value or the minimum value, we have to substitute the critical point as well as the end point. This is not the end point. Obviously, this will be a critical point. Is it clear? So, this is the critical point. I mean, if you substitute this value in the derivative, it will be equal to 0. Let us start this one. First, I will consider f of x is equal to x to the power 4 minus 62 x square plus ax plus 9, right? So we need to differentiate this. So if I differentiate, f dash of x will be equal to derivative of x to the power 4 will be 4x cube minus this is 62 into 2 will be 124x, right, plus a. Now what is given? X is equal to 1. The function attains, right, at x is equal to 1. The function attains its maximum value. Attains its maximum value. That means x is equal to 1 should be the critical point. That is nothing but f dash of 1 should be equal to 0. Right? 1 is the critical point. That means f dash of 1 should be equal to 0. Now we will substitute f dash of 1 here. So that is now f dash of 1 will be 4 into x cube is 1 minus 124 plus a will be equal to 0. Right? 4 minus 124 will be minus 120 plus a is equal to 0. By this we can write the value of a as 120. Is it clear? Simple problem. Just you need to understand here x is equal to 1 is the critical point. See this one. This is also an important one. Find two numbers whose sum is 24 and whose product is large as possible. Sum is 24 and product will be large as possible. First we will consider let x be a one number. Okay, let x be a number. Okay, if I consider x as one number, another number will be, then 24 minus x will be the is second number, right? Is it clear? We have considered one number as x. We know that sum of those numbers are equal to 24. Obviously 24 minus x will be the second number. And one more thing is given whose product is large as possible. We will consider let p be the product of a numbers. Let p be the product of a numbers. Fine. So we have considered p is the product of number. So we will consider this is in the form of x. So we will consider product as p of x. So product will be x into 24 minus x. Right? One number is x and the number is 24 minus x. So product of this will be x into 24 minus x. So if I multiply this 24x minus x square. Now we have to prove this is the maximum, right? For that what we have to do? We will differentiate this one. So this is now p dash of x is equal to 24 minus derivative of x square will be 2x. Now if you want to use the second derivative test or else you can go with the first derivative test also. Here I will use the second derivative test. So if I differentiate this again or else before that you can, anyway we will differentiate this. So this is now p double dash of x will be equal to derivative of 24. It is constant will be 0 minus derivative of 2x will be minus 2. Right? So we got this as 0 minus 2. Now we have to find the critical point, right, which attains the maximum or minimum. To check that one, so we will consider p dash of x is equal to 0. That means 24 minus 2x will be equal to 0. By this I can write x is equal to 24 and the value of x is equal to 12 is called the critical point. Is a critical point, right? Now, what is s double dash of x? I can write, p here, p product, right? So, p double dash of x is equal to minus 2 and this is less than 0. Now, I have to check the p double dash of x at the critical point, right? So, if I substitute the critical point, p double dash of x is now, I have to substitute that as 12. So, 12 here there is no value of x. So, this is also minus 2. Obviously, this is less than 0. Whenever p double dash of x is less than 0, then at this point the function attains a maximum value, right? So here 12 is called the point of local maxima and the maximum value is called the, here 12 is called the point of local maxima. To find the maximum value, this is not the maximum value, remember that. To find the maximum value, we need to substitute 12 in the given function. What is the given function? P of x is there. Here we need to substitute. Is it clear? So this is now p double dash of x by using, this is important, you have to write this, by using second derivative test, you have to write this one, which derivative test you used here. By using second derivative test, p double dash of 12 is less than 0. That implies 12 is the point of local maxima, and the maximum value. Here maximum value is not asked. If you want to find the value of, then you can substitute, or else 12 is called the point of local maximum. So this is the one value, right? The value of x will be 12. Another value will be, obviously another values we have considered as 24 minus x. So 24 minus 12 will be equal to 12. So therefore the product is maximum at the, if suppose the values are x is equal to 12 and another one is 24 minus x. So this is also 24 minus 12 will be equal to 12. So the two values are 12 and 12. Is it clear? What is the maximum value? You just substitute here p of 12. So this is now 12 into 24 minus 12. So this is 12 into 12. That will be the maximum value, maximum product. Is it clear? Just here we have to find the, what are the two numbers. Just we need to find the numbers. The numbers are 12 and 12. If they ask find the product as a maximum value, then you have to substitute here. So you will get p of 12. That is called the local maximum value. See this one. Okay. Yes. See this one. Find the maximum and minimum values of a function in the interval 0 to 2 pi. So obviously it is the absolute maximum and absolute minimum. So let us start with this one. I'll consider this as f of x. First step is you have to differentiate. So f dash of x will be equal to derivative of x is 1 plus derivative of sin 2x will be cos 2x into derivative of 2x is 2. Right? So this is now f dash of x. So I can write f dash of x is equal to 1 plus 2 cos 2x. To find the maximum or the minimum value, we need to equate this one to 0 to find the critical point. F dash of x is equal to 0. So here 2 cos 2x plus 1 will be equal to 0. I can write cos 2x is equal to minus 1 by 2. Cos 2x is equal to minus 1 by 2. Minus 1 by 2 means negative, right? It is between 0 to 2 pi is given. So I can consider this one in the second quadrant. You know that in the second quadrant cos function is negative. So I can write this as cos of pi minus pi by 3. Yes, cos of pi minus pi by 3, because 1 by 2 means cos pi by 3 will be 1 by 2. So cos of pi minus pi by 3, I can write cos of 3 pi minus pi will be equal to 2 pi by 3. Is it clear? So here what we got, this is cos 2x is equal to cos 2 pi by 3. Now can you say what is the angle? You have studied in the trigonometric ratios, right? If it is sin x is equal to sin y, or cos x is equal to cos y, or tan x is equal to tan y, right? So here we have the cos x is equal to cos y. Whenever the function cos x is equal to cos y, I can write x is equal to 2n pi, right? Plus or minus y, and the value of n belongs to z. This is you have studied in the trigonometry. If it is cos x is equal to cos y, then x is equal to 2n pi plus or minus y, and the value of n belongs to z. Here in the place of x we have 2x, and in the place of y we have 2 pi by 3. Right? Just we'll substitute that. X is now 2x is equal to 2n pi plus or minus 2 pi by 3. Is it clear? 2 pi by 3. Now we can divide by 2. If I divide by 2, this is x is equal to, 2 and 2 will get cancelled, n pi plus or minus pi by 3, and the value of n belongs to z. Now we need to find the values of x, and that value should be between 0 to 2 pi. Then you have to find the maximum and minimum value. Is it clear? First, see, n belongs to z. I'll go with n is equal to 0. If I substitute n equal to 0, this will be 0, right? One possible value is x is equal to pi by 3. Is it clear? Now this value pi by 3 is between 0 to 2 pi, right? Now I substitute n is equal to 1, and if I substitute n equal to 1, I can take this as pi plus or minus pi by 3, right? There are two possibilities are there. One is pi plus pi by 3 and the one is pi minus pi by 3, right? If it is pi plus, see, this is pi plus pi by 3 I can take, or I can go with pi minus pi by 3. So if it is, this is the case, 3 pi plus pi will be 4 pi by 3. Is it clear? So check this one. This is also belongs to 0 to 2 pi. I mean in between that. So the value 4 pi by 3 is possible. Next value pi minus pi by 3. So it will be 3 pi minus pi will be equal to 2 pi by 3. Is it clear? So this is another value 2 pi by 3. Next, if I substitute n is equal to 2. Check this one. If I substitute n equal to 2, so this will be where it is, yeah, n pi. So this will be now 2 pi plus or minus pi by 3 is possible. So if I consider 2 pi plus pi by 3, see this one, 2 pi plus pi by 3. So this will be 3 into 2 will be 6 pi plus pi will be 7 pi by 3. 7 pi by 3 is does not belongs to 0 to 2 pi. Is it clear? So 7 pi by 3 is not possible. If I consider the negative one, that is 2 pi minus pi by 3. So this is also 3 into 2 will be 6 pi. 6 pi minus pi will be 5 pi by 3. So 5 pi by 3 is also belongs to, is it clear? 5 pi by 3 is also between 0 to 2 pi. So another value is 5 pi by 3. Now these are the 4 critical points. Is it clear? So 4 critical points we got. One is pi by 3, 4 pi by 3, 2 pi by 3 and 5 pi by 3. This problem is not completed. What you have to do? To find the, what you have to find? Maximum and minimum value. You have to substitute the critical point as well as the end point. So you substitute the value of pi by 3. That is, you have to substitute in the given equation. Here it is. You have to substitute f of pi by 3. Then you have to find f of 4 pi by 3. Then you have to find f of 2 pi by 3 and f of 5 pi by 3 and one more f of 0 and f of 2 pi. Then you have to check where the function attains maximum and where the function attains the minimum value. Complete this one, okay? That's why important one. Find two positive numbers x and y such that x plus y is equal to 60, and you have to prove that xy cube is maximum and the value of xy cube should be maximum. What are the possible two values and the sum of those two values, I mean x and y, should be equal to 60. Okay, first we will consider the function f of x is equal to xy cube. Okay, now see, this is a function in the form of x. Here y cube is there, so we will convert by using this one into the x form. Here we have x plus y is equal to 60. I can write y is equal to 60 minus x, right? So we will substitute this one. So f of x is equal to x into 60 minus x whole cube. Is it clear? We will use second derivative test to prove this one is a maximum value. Now next step is we have to differentiate, right? So f dash of x will be equal to, here we have to apply the product rule. I will write the first function as it is x, and we will differentiate this one. Derivative of this will be 3 into 60 minus x whole square, right? And derivative of minus x is minus 1, right? Plus we will keep the second function as it is, that is 60 minus x whole cube and derivative of x is 1. Next, either you can go for the second derivative or directly you can equate to 0. So we will equate to 0 to find the critical point. F dash of x is equal to 0. That means 60 minus x whole cube minus 3x into 60 minus x whole square is equal to 0, right? So I can take 60 minus x whole square common. So if I take 60 minus x whole square as common, what is remaining here? 160 minus x and minus 3x. So this will be equal to 0. By this we can write 60 minus x whole square and into this is 60 minus 4x whole, this is equal to 0. By this we can write the value of equate this one to 0. By this we can write the value of x will be equal to 60, right? Second one is 60 minus 4x is equal to 0. That is now 4x is equal to 60 and the value of x will be equal to 15, right? So we got two critical points. One is the 60 and the one is 15, and you have to prove that the value of this is maximum. For that we will use the second derivative test. For that you have to differentiate the function f dash of x. Again, either you can differentiate this only, or after the simplification we got this value, right? So this is the same as f dash of x. Either you can go with this f dash of x or this one, both are same. Here I will consider this one so that it will be easy. So if I consider f dash of x is equal to 60 minus x whole square into 60 minus 4x, right? So this value we got f dash of x. Now we have to differentiate. To differentiate this, obviously here two functions are there, right? We need to apply the product rule. We differentiate f double dash of x is equal to first function as it is, the 60 minus x whole square into derivative of 60 will be 0 minus 4 into derivative of x will be 1, right? Plus we will keep the second function as it is 60 minus 4x into derivative of this will be now 2 into 60 minus x and derivative of 60 will be 0 minus x will be minus 1, right? So this is multiplied by minus 7. Now we can observe here 60 minus x is common, right? We will take out. If I consider 60 minus x common, what is remaining? In the first one, minus 4 into, is it clear? 60 minus x. Here 160 minus x is out, so remaining is minus 2 into 60 will be 120 plus minus into minus will be plus 2x. Now we will simplify this. So by this I can write 60 minus x into, so if you multiply this will be minus 240, right? So this is plus 4x minus 120 and this is plus 2x. Is it clear? So this is just a simplification. 60 minus x into minus 240 minus 120 will be 340 minus 360, right? Minus 360 plus 4x plus 2x will be 6x. Clear? So we can take again 6 common, or else let it be as it is. This is now f double dash of x. Now we have to check with the critical points, right? So critical points are 60 and 50. If I substitute f double dash of 60, is it clear? Now we are checking at the point x is equal to 60. If I substitute this as 60, whole term will be equal to 0, right? If it is whole term will be equal to 0, then we cannot go with the second derivative test. Is it clear? So f double dash of x 60 is not possible. Is it clear? If we substitute f double dash of x and x as 60, we will get it as 0. So it is not possible by using the second derivative test. So we will check with the second value. If I substitute the value f double dash of 15, is it clear? If I substitute the value of f double dash of 15, so 60 minus 15 will be, here we will get anyway positive value will get, and here minus 360 plus 6 into 15. Here you will get the negative value. Is it clear? Check with this one. Just substitute the value of x as 15, so this will be positive and you will get the value here it as negative. So this is less than 0. Clear? And simplify and check the value of this one. At the point, so what we can say, the value 15 is called the, because f double dash of x is less than 0. So 15 at this point it has a maximum value. So we can say that the point x is equal to 15 is the point of local maxima. Is it clear? Since by using, we have tried this second order, by using second order derivative. Okay, by using second order derivative f double dash of 15 is less than 0. So the value 15 is called point of local maximum. So here they have not asked for the maximum value. So this is enough. 15 is called the point of local maximum. One value is 15, another value will be here it is given x plus y should be equal to 60, right? If it is x is equal to 15, the value of y will be equal to 45, right? Y is equal to 60 minus 15 is equal to 45. So when the value of x is 15 and y is equal to 45, the value x y cube will be have a maximum value. Is it clear? Finally you have read, therefore the required numbers are, therefore the required numbers are, what are the numbers? One is 15 and the one is 45. I hope you understood this one. Better you use one method. First you write the function f of x, okay? After that you differentiate it. That will be f dash of x. Next equate to 0. So that will get the critical point. After getting the critical point, you differentiate again, that will give you the f double dash of x and check. If it is less than 0, then it is a maximum value. If it is greater than 0, then it is a point of local minimum.